funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're okay.
They're fine. Everything's okay.
As far as we know.
Anyway, hello stream.
Hello.
Welcome to the December holiday produce
Effect
Back in
with
action.
3 people.
Yes.
back in action. So shall we mosey on?
Yes.
Has it started yet? Yes.
Yes. Should we just stop moving and just pause?
We could do the mannequin challenge.
Yeah.
Stream for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure that's what they tuned in for.
Let us get rolling.
Oh, elevator bosses. See? We're making it SWTOR relevant.
Yes.
So here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go through community topics, as per usual. We're going to talk about the 5-year anniversary awards, which are already in your hands as of listening to this right now. Life Day is live, hence snowballs being thrown at us and being all over the room, along with other in-game events are running through December. Galactic Command gearing changes. I feel like some of you may be here to talk about some of that.
Yeah, and if we're on it, this is going to be the majority of the stream, I think. We want to talk
Correct.
about all the detail of this, the feedback we've heard from all of you guys, and the proposed changes we want to make in our January update. So we'll get there in a moment.
Correct. Influencer content, just as always, like to highlight what some of our fan site people are doing. And then looking forward, we're almost in 2017, which in of itself is terrifying. And let's talk about what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we missed one agenda item, which is no one did an updated bingo card, so we didn't
Yeah.
show it at the start of the
Yeah.
stream because you can't use the same bingo card every time. So if you guys want to get on top of that, that'd be really good. Thank you. All right.
I think Ben just like challenged, like, hey, do you troll us? Could you do it more, please? We need to show it.
I'm sure I'll live to regret that.
That's okay.
All right.
That's right. So, from the community, 2 main things that I wanted to cover today. Life Day droids. What I mean by that is there was a bug where the overheated droids that are part of the Life Day event, you couldn't throw snowballs at them. Not great. We're going to be fixing that tomorrow morning. We have a patch to address that, along with making snowballs able to hit all NPCs.
Yep.
On top of just those droids. Also, I wrote the patch note for it, and I thought it was pretty funny, just as a note.
I haven't even read it yet,
Look
but I'm
forward
sure
to
it's
that.
amazing.
It's pretty great.
I didn't read it either, so who knows what it says.
It's already on the internet, so too late.
High danger levels.
And
Okay.
then, of course, something that has been coming up, something we've talked about pretty much every stream
Yeah.
since Cotet went live, is endgame gearing, how it relates to RNG and Galactic Command. We're going to talk about that. There's a whole section, pretty much most of the stream. So we'll be talking about that for sure.
Yep.
But before then, we have a couple of other announcements, or things to mention anyway.
You got it? So,
Chapter 1 free trial, yeah. I mean, I'll talk about some of it. You know, we did this last year as well, kind of as a way to say, hey, if you guys have friends out there who haven't come back for Eternal Throne, and you love the story and you think some of your friends should come back and enjoy the story, we're doing a Chapter 1 free trial so people can come in and play that and experience that and kind of get bought into the game, which is, I think, really exciting to do. So go to SWTOR.com/trial. Please direct friends there. But you can also actually use a refer a friend link to give friends, you know, Chapter 1 as well. So you can just go to SWTOR.com/friends and go ahead and do that. And you can actually earn some rewards by doing that, right? Do you want to explain what they are?
So on top of everything that normally exists for the Refer a Friend program, you can also get some bonus cartel coins as part, even above the normal cartel coins you get as part of this referral as well. So if you have friends who haven't checked out Chapter 1 yet, or you just want to refer friends as you always do, Refer a Friend just got even a little bit better. So
let's bring more people in. Let's do it.
Chapter 1 of Cotet, by the way, should be clear.
Right.
Not Fallen Empire. 5-year anniversary rewards. We talked about them last time.
Yeah.
They're out.
Actually, I don't know. Did you guys talk about it last time?
We did.
We did.
We did my last
Charles did a
time.
good job.
I don't know what happened last time.
Yeah.
So
We got it covered. We got you covered.
I have faith.
Much like Koth.
I have faith in you guys.
Yeah, we got the Senya Hollow Statue Trainer. Bring Senya out, get some wisdom out in the field. The new Jawa Balloon 5-year anniversary, and that one counts for the achievement, as you can see there.
Yep.
Cool decorations for your strongholds, both the sort of key arc things from each of the expansions we've done. Also a 5-year Distinguished Veteran reward that we sent out in your in-game mail for everyone who had stayed subscribed through the whole 5 years of SWTOR. We wanted to really show our appreciation, so that's one little gift we sent. And of course, the chance to get the Coruscant or Drummond Cost strongholds for 5 credits each. And that all stays around until game update 5.1, which comes out in January. We'll actually be talking a little about that later on.
Yep.
Awesome. Life Day is now live.
It is. It's true.
Throw snowballs, earn stuff. That's the Life Day event.
It's super complicated.
You run around, you throw snowballs, you get snow-covered parcels, you turn snow-covered parcels in, you get stuff. Also, by every time you get a parcel, you also get a bunch of command XP, so extra benefit to do Life Day.
Yeah.
And again, there is the issue with the overheated droids, which we are fixing, so this way the event is silk smooth.
Yeah, and I think like this is what we're doing for Life Day, but in game, I think you guys as players could do stuff as well. Like I heard about someone on the Harbinger earlier this afternoon was giving out unstable lightsabers to random people on the fleet, which is really cool. So if you guys are in the Christmas spirit, I think you should be nice to each other and give some gifts out if you have spare things to give away.
You said that was on cool. The Harbinger? Is that where you said that?
So I've been told.
Asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. And then, of course, there's all the amazing stuff that you can see in the background that's now in a bundle or individual on the cartel market, including a Wampa companion, which
so sweet.
Can't.
I don't have the Wampa yet, and I want it. And I'm like, can I just give it to myself? And I was told no, so I'll have to go out there and earn it. All right, move on.
Do it.
Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, so in-game events, we covered this last time as well, I think. It was just to call out, hey, you know, as the holiday season is upon us, there are lots of cool things you can do in the game. If you guys have some extra time to play, there's plenty of stuff going on. So we've got Life Day, Relics of the Degree, Rackle, Bounty Contract. We won't go through it all line by line, but you can find all the details at SWTOR.com/info/in-game events. So lots of cool stuff happening. If you haven't got those rewards yet or got all the reputation that you need, heaps of cool stuff is happening over the break.
Got a really good question there in chat from Tricky Magician. Give me a Twi'lek mount for Life Day. So would the Twi'lek be carrying you like firemen carry, like one of those, what are the Baby Bjorn thing that's like in the front? Like how would you see that working? Because that sounds exciting to me.
Body type 4 male piggyback ride.
Ooh, piggyback. That's a good one. Maybe like the thing where you're like holding them up and they're on their hands, handstanding. Maybe.
This is what every brainstorm meeting is like, I assume. Internally, I'm not in them for this reason. Also, because I would just say Kaizen.
This sounds brilliant.
All right, let's get into some of
let's get to the meat of this
presentation.
So this is how we kind of framed everything, because this is even what we said in the forum post earlier this week. But generally, and this is not everything, just to be clear, but these are two of the main pieces of feedback. You're typing over there. These are the two main pieces of feedback that we're hearing specifically related to Galactic Command. One, there needs to be a way to work towards a specific slot of gear to fill in gaps for people who are unlucky with command crates. You know that as you're going through Galactic Command, you're getting a lot of command crates, you're getting a lot of gear, and look, luck is average, right? So for every person who has bad experience, someone could get the first 7 pieces all have set bonuses. But we know that really what people want to focus on is, man, all I need is the helm, all I need is the boots, I need a way to work towards that. Secondarily, gearing other characters can take too long. I have my main's at command rank 100, I want to jump on an alt. How can I jump in beyond the ways that are already there? Because again, crafting can fill in some of these gaps, etc. So those are the main pieces of feedback. What are we doing to address those?
Yeah, so let's talk about just at a high level, what are we doing? So we think that it makes sense to provide a way for you guys to work to specific pieces of gear through endgame activities. So specifically things like operations and PvP. And kind of to what Moscow said, we think it's really important for you guys to have goals that you can work towards. Either as, hey, in my operation group, we play Tuesday, Wednesdays, we want to be able to get something specifically, or hey, I got unlucky with my crates, I want a supplementary way to obtain gear. And so we have an idea that we're going to implement to do that, and we'll get to the detail of that in a second. And the second part is, hey, we do acknowledge that there needs to be ways for alts. And we had said that before, like, hey, we're going to monitor how these things go, and based on the data, we'll make some decisions. So part of the first bullet point will come into the second, which is part of what our idea is going to be legacy-wide, and we'll kind of get into that. And I think, overall for us, I think, again, we said the whole time, we want to be really flexible about the system.
Yeah,
we want to watch it and see what happens after it goes live. And we wanted to make the right decisions and the right adjustments. And I think we feel excited that we're doing that. But we're about to talk you guys through it, so you can be the judge.
This is a great statement from chat, which will be a nice intro to you pressing forward, which is really all they have to do is add gear tokens back to bosses like before, and then CXP can be a great method for people to get gear who aren't going into endgame activities.
Yep.
Which,
so,
interesting, because it's close.
So let's talk about, so we're going to go through 2 scenarios. Instead of trying to explain it all, we're going to do the PvE example of how this would work, and then afterwards we'll do the PvP example. So PvP player, just chill it for the next slide, and then we'll get to PvP.
Correct.
Okay. So how does this loosely work? And I'll talk high level, and then Charles, we can dive into some of the details. So in general, what we want to do is say, hey, if you play operations and you defeat a boss in operation, unassembled gear pieces can drop. In order to turn an unassembled gear piece into a piece of tier gear, you will use command tokens that you earn from command crates.
Yep.
And you combine these two things together and you can earn a specific piece.
Right.
And I just want to add as a note too, everything we're going to talk about is in addition to everything that already exists with command crates.
Correct.
So you will still earn command crates at the same rate before. You will get a piece of gear, which could be exactly the piece you need or something you don't need.
Right.
All of that will still remain in place.
The command tokens don't replace anything that's in the
Correct.
crates. They are additional and they're guaranteed.
Correct.
Yep. So a few more details. So the final boss of every operation will have a specific piece of tier gear. So that could be the helm, the chest, the gloves, whatever.
Yeah.
The other bosses that you defeat along the way will also contain unassembled gear pieces, but they won't be specific things. So if you specifically want to chase the head, you might say, well, the head piece drops from X operation boss, so I'm going to go and chase that. But it's also possible along the way you get a head piece from other bosses that you might fight.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to do that for two reasons. One, to kind of incentivize you guys playing different operations, because if you're chasing different pieces, it makes sense to play the different operations, but also to make sure that each boss gave something rewarding.
Right.
Do you want to talk about how the tiers will work and the rest of the
Yeah, so essentially there's 3 tiers of gear in Galactic Command, that currently drop in the crates already. Those will also be divided, the unassembled versions of those pieces will be divided into the difficulties of the operation. So story difficulty will drop the best gear from tier 1, veteran will drop the best gear from tier 2, master will drop the best gear from tier 3. So pretty straightforward there. Like you said, it's really that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
And unassembled gear piece, command tokens, get
And
a
so
cool thing.
one of the questions that I just got, which it'll be a good point of clarification, is will the tokens be random? So the gear pieces that you actually, unassembled gear pieces, will those be random?
So no and yes. So the piece that drops from the final boss of an operation is always that piece. So I'm making this up. Let's say Revan drops the helmet. That will always be true. That said, all the other bosses in every operation will also have a chance to drop any piece within that tier based on the difficulty of the op. So even if you don't make it to, continue to use Revan as the example. You're after the helmet. You don't quite make it to Revan, but you beat all the bosses up to that point. You still have a chance to drop the helmet or really any other piece from those previous bosses. And that chance gets a little bit better as you get further into the op. So the drop chance on the 4th boss is better than the drop chance on the 3rd boss.
Yeah, because we wanted to make sure that the further you get through, the more rewarded
Right.
you have, or the better chance you have to be rewarded.
And keep in mind that the entire time you're going through the operation, you're also earning command XP, potentially earning command crates, which will also have that tier of gear in them anyway.
Yeah, and I saw someone ask already, is it a random chance to get the command tokens? Is that RNG based? Not at all. Every single command crate contains command tokens. It's the same amount every time. You're guaranteed them.
Yep.
So I think there are 2 more really important points. One is our goal is to grant command tokens retroactively.
Yes.
So we plan to put this in the game on January 24th, but we didn't want you guys to feel like it wasn't worth playing until January 24th. So all the command ranks you've earned between now and then will give you the equivalent amount of tokens on that day. So at that point, you might have enough that all you need to do is get an unassembled gear piece, and you could instantly convert that to the piece that you need. So you should definitely continue to play. In fact, the more you play now, the more you can save up, so you can kind of get ahead of the curve when it goes live. That was point 1. Point 2, command tokens are going to be legacy-wide. So I think we were meant to talk about that later, but whatever. So the idea there, again, is if you have a main character and you've got really far in command ranks, you've progressed a lot, you set up a lot of tokens, and you want to have an ult, or your group needs a healer, so you offer to make a different character. This will allow you to catch up a bit faster, because you can just get the unassembled gear pieces, combine it with the tokens you saved up on your main character, and kind of get ahead of the curve. So I think that's a great way for catch-up mechanics and ults.
Yep. A very good question that came up from our friends at Bad Feeling. What about bosses that don't have 3 difficulty modes? How are those being treated?
So honestly, we're still kind of working that out. I was just in a room, we were talking about one option. Maybe we'll drop some of the higher tier stuff as a percentage chance drop in the lower difficulties. That's one way. But honestly, if y'all have ideas and feedback, let us know. We're still kind of figuring out some of those details.
Yep, and we'll put all of the stuff that we're talking about now will also be put in a wrap-up thread. So any of these kind of pieces of feedback that you guys have on things that we could change, things you might want to see us do differently, let us know in there for sure, because we're still talking through a lot of it. So
yeah.
Do you get more tokens the higher you are in command rank?
That's actually another thing we talked about. It's still kind of up in the air, I think, because it's basically going to depend on what the ultimate cost ends up being. It's like, is the tier 3 piece cost more tokens than the tier 1? So then we might drop more in the tier 3 crates, etc. like I said, that's all still kind of being worked out. We're very much welcome to y'all's feedback. Really, this whole thing was driven by y'all's feedback, so let us know what you think. But as soon as we get those details, we'll share them with y'all.
Yeah. Another good question: does anybody get a piece or what? I think I think I know what you're asking, which is like an operation boss could drop, like say the final boss Revan would drop 2 pieces of unassembled gear in like an 8-man operation, and then it would be like normal. You would roll for it or master loot it to whoever made sense. So it kind of works like it did before. Not everyone gets one all the time, but you can work that out as a group doing the operation yourself.
Yep. Shall we talk about PvP?
Yeah.
And again,
what's happening with PvP players? Right on cue.
And it's an Aussie.
The Aussie fool, but the rest of it was super exciting.
Yeah.
So excited.
This is such a random question. Eric, do you ever plan to try to grow that crappy beard again? Please say no. I don't even know where that question came from, but no, I have no intentions of growing a beard. Thank you for asking. I don't know where that question came from. Anyway, sorry.
Good question.
Anyway, please keep the questions coming, especially PvE stuff. And while we get into PvP, and we'll be sure to answer them.
And the important thing to note is, if you're a PvE player who doesn't want to play operations, like that's where Galactic Command is already there for you right now, right? You can still, over time, earn enough command ranks to get the best gear in the game. Mm-hmm. What we're just offering here is, hey, if you do play the hardest content that it requires the most coordination, the biggest investment of time, you can get there slightly faster. But again, you'll need the support of the command crates to facilitate getting that gear. Mm-hmm. But if you're not interested, you can just play the game however you want to play the game and earn the most powerful gear over time. And maybe along the way you'll be like, hey, maybe I should step into an operation. Maybe I should check this out.
Yeah, because that's the thing we can't undersell enough is that none of the existing stuff is going to go away. And so if you look at this and you're like, great, now I can work towards a headpiece and then, I can chest piece. As you're working towards those pieces, you're still getting multiple command crates that could contain those exact items. And then you can work towards other things or save for higher tier, whatever you may want to do. So
now, Dread Lorded has a good question, which is, what about PvP? That's our next slide. But also, all caps, man, give me a break. It's a little too loud for me over here. Like, we can type like regular people, I think.
How do you intend to let PvPers get gear?
Wait, back to the Twi'lek mount. No, we'll get to that later.
It's also Tricky Magician again. I can't. This is chat.
All right, let's stick to the point. Let's get to PvP.
Okay, so what about PvP? So PvP is a little different. The whole idea is when you participate in Warzones, you'll get unassembled components. Once you earn enough unassembled components, you can buy an unassembled gear piece. Which then works like it does in PvE. Now that you have this unassembled gear piece, you will need command tokens that you get from your command crates. You combine it with the unassembled gear piece, and you get a piece of gear.
Yep.
There's a few subtle differences, which we'll dive into.
Why don't you explain them?
Yeah, so the unassembled components that you earn from Warzones, that's literally any Warzone, arenas, ranked, unranked, all of it. The amount you get will be based on your medals, the match outcome, etc. So obviously, if you win a lot, you're going to get a lot more.
Yep.
That's we want to reward that. Make sure you're actually putting the effort in, not just sitting around waiting, trying to collect.
Not AFK in Warzones. We want to make sure we're rewarding effort.
Jump in and fight. Get in there. And then let's see. So the other trick there is there's a valor requirement on the vendor. So again, this is really meant to be for PvPers. We don't want it to just be an easy thing where ideally you do dip your toe into PvP and check it out. But if you're going to be getting to the absolute best stuff, you're actually someone who plays PvP a lot. You're really, digging into that. You're someone who's really hardcore at it. So there's that valor requirement, and the way you actually step up through it is that you can purchase the first tier of gear with those unassembled components, and then you will trade that gear plus more unassembled components to get the next piece.
Yeah, so you just upgrade and upgrade.
Yeah. For anyone familiar,
which is fairly common.
Yeah, for similar to how the system worked before, right? Where you needed to get the original theoretically unranked set to then purchase into the ranked set, and it required that piece of gear. So PvP players get players' gear for PvE. It's all the same gear.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I was going to say that's to me the fascinating nuance here is when you digest this, Lulu, like, hold on a second, there are advantages in some situations of doing PvE and advantages in other situations of doing PvP. Maybe there's a world in which I should dabble in both.
That might not
I
be
think
so
that's
bad.
awesome. Like, you could earn an unassembled gear piece from PvE, but then play lots of PvP, and upgrade that with the command tokens, that you earn from the command crates, or vice versa. You can do it different ways, and it is all the same gear because that was one of the philosophical changes we made as part of this expansion. So.
And just as a note, similar to how, because I saw someone mention specifically that PvP players also want to gear their alts, The intention is that here you will still have to, similar to PvE where you'll need to put in some base level of go get the unassembled gear token to turn it in, for PvP you will need to, because in this case the unassembled components are not legacy-wide. Is that correct, Charles?
Sorry?
The unassembled components are not legacy. They're for a character.
They are not. Right now, only the tokens are legacy-wide.
Right. And so, but what that means is
Sorry,
you just...
I was distracted because someone asked for a nasty Arkan romance, which I'm just still trying to process.
So
Go
you
on.
would need to, on a character, basically, whatever the Valor requirement is. And just so you know, our intent on the Valor requirement is just that it is a floor to make sure that you've done some PvP,
a little bit, yeah.
but ultimately it's not to gate you out of it in any way.
And I think it's also, what we'll do is we'll post all this information on the forums. If you guys have feedback on it, let us know. Like, we're trying to move on this fast. We want it to be in January 24th, which means we kind of have a couple days to do the work so that it's ready. But the feedback you guys get us this afternoon and tomorrow morning, especially on tweaks like, well, what is the Valor rank requirement and how many tokens and whatever, I think that's really great feedback. If you could get us to us, today, tomorrow morning, these guys will have just a little bit of time to make adjustments.
Danny asked a great question, which is, give us hard numbers. How many of X does it take to get Y? So one of the things that I was working on, and I'm still going to try to work with the team to get it, is kind of like a hypothetical example. I am hypothetical operations player number 7. I log on to play 2 operations a week.
Well, you're going to say Mambo number 5
And,
for a second.
I was Mambo number, that's even better. I am Mambo number 5. I play 2 operations a week, and I play 2 other days a week where I play some uprisings. How many pieces of gear could I buy in a week? Could I buy any? Just to get kind of like a hypothetical, like, this is our goal of the situation. Because, again, our plan is that this will fill in the gaps of Galactic Command to make sure you can work towards pieces that you want to. Yep.
Okay.
And I continue to see questions about legacy. The legacy aspect of this is the command tokens. Those will be shared across all of your characters. So if you earn a whole bunch on one character, you'll be able to spend them on another. That's how you'll be able to more quickly gear up.
And one thing you have to note about that is you need to log into all your characters to get all the tokens.
Yeah, so all the command tokens you
important
get
nuance,
between
but-
now and then, just be sure when you log in, when this patch goes
On
live.
January 24th.
I love it. Ben is a month ahead of the housekeeping
I know,
item.
I know.
When we launch on January 24th, log into all your characters to get your tokens.
Yes.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Look, Ben got a taste of my job last week, and
I
now he's
know.
full in.
All over it.
He's full in.
It was actually really hard. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Moscow looks like it's a really easy job. I can do this in my sleep. No, did not do a great job at playing Moscow last week. In fact, there was too many memes about me now to know that I've not done a good job as Moscow last week.
That's great.
All right, shall we move along? Did we get the questions?
So one question that I've seen a few times, and this is a good question, and Charles, I don't know at what level we are ready to answer, is
give it a
what
shot.
about someone who doesn't do operations or war zones? They'll still get command tokens. Can they get gear? What can they do with command tokens?
So that's definitely something we've been discussing a lot. We're not sure if we'll let you outright buy gear with just tokens, but we're definitely interested in offering some cool stuff that you can buy for those tokens so that they're not just useless to you, right? We want them to be really cool and exciting, have something fun to actually purchase with them. So we're working that out. Again, this is a great chance to get y'all's feedback on what you'd like to buy, aside from the best gear ever for 1 token. What else would you be interested in buying with those tokens? Bearing in mind that we want this to be rewarding for everyone.
Don't let your memes be dreams. Love your style, Korea. All right. Okay. I think... Oh, yeah, wrap up. Good.
Recap, yeah.
I love the combination chart.
Yeah.
So yeah, in general, like the whole idea is you earn unassembled components from Warzones, they turn into unassembled gear pieces, or you do operations to earn unassembled gear pieces. You combine those with command tokens, which you'll earn by getting command ranks through Galactic Command, earning command experience points from anything in the game. You can play the game however you want to play it. When you combine those two things together, you get a sweet, sweet piece of loot.
Yep.
The type of loot you get depends on the difficulty of the content you're doing in PvE, or in PvP, you buy the tier 1 and then you upgrade it to the maximum tier, and that's how the system works.
Yep.
So we covered tokens come from command crates, tokens legacy-wide, we're going to retroactively grant tokens, that's really important, make sure you spread that around.
Yes.
It's absolutely worth continuing to get ranks now because you'll get all the tokens come January 24th.
Yep.
Vendors to purchase gear will be added to the fleet in Game Update 5.1, January 24th. So we'll, before then, give more details on how many vendors, who sells what, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But as you can imagine, it would be similar-ish to the past.
Great question. Are unassembled components at only level 70 or all levels?
Ooh. Probably level 70. I'll double check that, but since this is intended for the in-game gear, probably would be a level 70 thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would assume that to be the case as well.
Same.
I saw another question and I forgot it.
What about Empress Asina's veteran mode companion rank?
Yeah, so that was also a question I saw earlier where, it feels like some of the chapters are much harder in veteran mode than others. Coincidentally, those are the chapters where you have a companion that's not leveled up. Yeah, we're looking into changing that in an upcoming patch. I forget if it's January 24th.
It might actually. I think it might.
I'm a little slow today. I apologize. I've been out sick, but that's something we're definitely looking to fix because it's a little punishing.
So this is a great, if not strongly worded question. So now uprisings are worthless compared to ops.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I saw a similar question that was like, hey, what if I don't play operations? Like, this sucks. You're giving them an advantage. And I think this is in line philosophically, right? Like we've always said, the harder the content you do, the bigger the group side, the faster the rewards you'll earn. And all we've done here is give those people a slightly faster way because until we make this change right now, it doesn't feel rewarding to do operations. Like for the difficulty in the group size and how hard it is, the rewards weren't compelling enough.
Right.
And so I think that's the first half of the answer. I think this is in line with our philosophy. Mm-hmm. I think then to touch on the other 2 points, are things that aren't operations worthless? No, because you're going to earn an unassembled gear piece and you're going to need command tokens.
Yep.
So instead of saying, hey, well, my raid group's not meeting again until next Wednesday, maybe, that's it, I'll see you next Wednesday. You go, hey, now it's really worth playing a bunch of uprisings, getting some command tokens when it's not operation night, so that you can actually turn your unassembled gear piece into an actual piece that when your operation night comes around again and you play with your friends, you're like, don't worry, I did my homework, guys. I'm ready. I'm bringing the extra power. I got you covered. So, yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah.
Because it is very likely that you could be sitting on an unassembled gear piece waiting to get some command tokens. And so whatever source the whole rest of the game, whatever your chosen destination for command XP, whether it be uprisings, heroics, you can go do that.
And we can monitor all this as well, guys. I mean, again, we've very openly said we want to be flexible. So if now the non-operations players feel like it's not rewarding enough for them and we need to do some more adjustments to command experience point gains, we'll do that as well.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the one thing that I can stress from my side is please continue to keep feedback coming. Like I said, the 2 main pieces of feedback that we really look to address today is basically a way to account for RNG and a way for you able to kind of have some of your progress go across legacy, but we know that is certainly not every piece of feedback that we've ever gotten, and so please keep it coming, especially as this starts to go live, and these guys have been pretty good about reacting, and I think, and working on getting changes in.
Yeah, I mean, this clip very much was based on feedback. It's something we were watching very closely, like we said, and we just wanted to make it happen for y'all, make it the best thing it can be, because ultimately the players are what make this game. Keep it alive. It's what we wanted, so we want to make it a fun game for y'all. That's what it's all about.
PvP gearing is going to be easier than PvE? ?
Yeah, we talked a lot about this. I've read the same question. It's like, well, I think that comes in the nuance of how much currency it takes to do those things. And I think when we post that, we'd love to get some feedback. Yeah, I think, what do you think? Philosophically, like, in theory, doing Warzones is easier because you can just do it by yourself, so that should take longer, but both should feel worthwhile. Like, if you put in all the extra effort to organize a group, do something very complicated, that should be faster than just queuing PvP, but both should feel rewarding. And so I think that's where these guys have a challenging job to balance that properly. But we can post that information and get some feedback on that, and we can always tweak how much currency is required after it goes live to make it feel fair for both. And again, hopefully we encourage people to try both, because in certain situations, one is more advantageous than the other.
Great
Someone
question.
said, hey, you should do closed captions on your stream. Can we do that? Is that a thing?
Probably. I will
Let's
look
find
into
out.
it.
I'd be down for that.
Would that be like automated?
I don't know.
Can it handle all of our crazy words?
I doubt it.
Can it handle accents?
I feel like I talk way too quickly for that to be a thing.
But yeah, that seems worth looking
Great question that someone asked. Will there be a Valor requirement on the vendor or on the gear itself?
I believe it's on the vendor.
That is the answer that I know of as well.
Yes.
Because once you buy it, we're not going to take it away.
Yeah.
Similar to the bug that we're working on addressing, which I think also might be in 5.1, that we added a Valor requirement unintentionally to gear that people already had. Yeah, that wasn't meant to be. I think that's also 5.1. But anyway, no, that's just on the vendor.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
I see
That was the request.
Knifey spoony before.
I just assume Ben's reading chat again. I look away.
I got my taste reading chat last week, and I just can't stop.
What about those of us who have already gone far up in ranks and gotten nothing?
You will be reimbursed with all the command tokens that you would have earned. So every command rank you've earned, we are going to retroactively grant you all the tokens that you would have got. So it's still worth playing. It's still worth getting those command ranks now over the holiday break where we'll get a little time off. And when we come back on January 24th, we will give you tokens for all of those things that you've done.
If you are many high-end ranks, we'll just take tokens and we will just shovel them at you so you can buy stuff.
My God, Ben, that was terrible. Awkward, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I've been living here for 6 years. My accent is dwindled.
You're
I mean,
Australian.
if I talk to my family, they laugh at me.
I'll go get my my Mandalorian Biscad sword. You can hold that up when you say, "This is a knife." You needed a prop.
That's true. I need to be able to like get it out of the thing like he does, and
Even though there's clearly no place large enough that it could have come from.
But here's a challenge. Why don't you do a better job and post it on YouTube and link it in the forums, and then we can decide.
I so hope that you are just like
new community contest.
Just deep Australian and just.
Let's do a That's Not a Knife contest on the forums. Can we do that?
Ben, we can do whatever you want. I'm here for you.
I think it would be fun, but that's up to you guys to decide.
All right, shall we move on, and I'll keep my eyes open. Can you upgrade any piece of gear from the PvP vendor? Yes.
Well, like if you have the head and you're going to upgrade it, you can upgrade head to head to head. You can't upgrade like head to legs.
Correct. Right.
It's got to be that piece you upgrade.
Right.
But it can be any piece of that. Hypothetically, you are a player who plays 50,000 ops and 50,000 Warzones a week, so you qualify in both camps. Theoretically, you could take a piece that you got from an operation and upgrade it on the PvP.
Yeah, they are the same gear.
Assuming you have all of the components, like if you somehow manage to have the components to do on both sides, you could double dip.
Yeah, that's intended. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so on the PvP, upgrading is basically just exactly how it used to work. You get a piece and you upgrade it.
Yeah.
There's just more tiers now.
So with PvP, do we get unassembled parts from just ground PvP or GSF as well?
I believe right now it's just ground PvP, but let us know. What do you think?
Interesting.
Since you don't
makes sense because
since
the
you
gear
don't
doesn't
use
use in GSF.
it doesn't seem like you would.
Yeah.
I don't think that would make sense, but we can talk about it.
We'll let us know what you guys
decide.
think.
But
we are going to hand out 10 million tokens per GSF match because Bacchus really wants people to play more GSF. So.
That's true, he does. Okay, I think we can move on. Again, we'll post in the forums. We'll try to, as soon as we can, get you guys all the details of how many tokens for what thing, blah, 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 to get feedback on that.
I'm going to guess it will be next week, just as a note.
Eric for Emperor? Damn.
Nice. But we already discussed that I don't have good facial hair. I don't think.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it'll work. Anyway, just as a note, because I want to put it out there, we are going to get that information to you guys as soon as we can, but I'm guessing it will probably not be this week.
Yeah.
Just as a note.
Yeah. I just saw a funny question that said, but it said like, it goes, Ben, when you go for coffee, do you get Foster's beer? I don't drink Foster's. That's a hot tip for you. I can tell you about my beer preferences later.
I feel like I don't even understand that
either
question.
It's a joke like when you get a coffee, but you're Australian, you must get
Foster's
beer.
or is it Australian for
Right.
birthday? All right.
Yeah, okay, I don't know. Good question. No, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will Valor become legacy-wide as part of these changes? No.
Yeah, what's the plan?
Because I believe Valor, again, is intended still as like the gate to get in to get gear on the PvP side, similar to gaining a unassembled gear piece from an op.
People are asking about future group content. We got some slide action later.
We'll get there.
Don't expect a lot today, but we're going to talk about it.
Shall we continue
Are you a
forward?
Silverchair fan? I am a Silverchair fan.
I think anyone who was a teenager-ish during like the year 2000 is a Silverchair fan.
Come on.
Teenager-ish.
It's not even a question.
Yeah,
teenager-ish.
Yeah,
that's what I was.
I don't want to show.
Teenager-ish.
I don't want to show anyone's ages on this panel.
Wait. Was Endozol based off Tate? He was not. Endozol has some pretty amazing hair, but Tate has the best hair, so couldn't quite make it.
Mm-hmm.
Influencers. There have been two things to point out this week. Yesterday I did an interview with Sam from SWTOR Central. It was lots of fun. I think it ended up being like an hour and a half.
Sorry, can we get a broken washing machine, rest and recharge?
That could potentially lead to a lawsuit from my washing machine's manufacturer. I'm thinking no, but great idea. I love it.
Look, I had the phone from same unnamed manufacturer, which is in other unnamed game as an explosive device.
I feel like there's actually or there used to be, like, how washing machines worked in Star. Like, I feel like they use, like, sonic waves to clean your clothes. I might be just thinking of the showers.
Anyway, I did an interview.
Let us know in chat.
I did an interview yesterday with Sam from SWTOR Central. I'll put a link in the wrap-up. Also, just to point out that the guys from SWTOR Escape Podcast, New Overlords on YouTube, we updated their information into our Twitch schedule because they record every Thursday. I want to say Thursday night, but it could be Tuesday night. It's a T night, I think. Anyway, it's literally right below me if you scroll down. So we'll link that in the wrap-up as well. Just wanted to point out some of the content being done by our influencers.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, Ben, it's from The Simpsons that where the knifey spoony came from.
Well,
yeah, that's
which was a joke about
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he says that's not a knife, this is a knife.
And then he pulls out a gigantic knife.
You might not be old enough to know Crocodile Dundee. If not, here's a hot tip: go watch Crocodile Dundee.
Yes,
excellent movie.
It was on Netflix last I looked.
Funny story.
It is still on
at least
Netflix.
in the U.S.
Yeah, funny story. He was just a random laborer, and they wanted to get a true blue Aussie, and so he was just some random laborer who was very funny, and so he auditioned for the role and got it.
I really thought that story was going to be like, fun fact, he grew up on the same street as me.
Fun fact, he's my father.
That's where I thought that was. I really thought that's where that story was going to go.
He's not. I have an amazing father.
Did not
he's
go
not
there.
him.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, Dad.
Shall we? Shall we move forward?
He's probably not watching.
I feel like none of our family members watch this.
That is likely.
It's a bad hour in my time zone.
Yeah.
I saw something in chat that was, so I think that we've seen overwhelming, like, hey, this is a good change, thanks, good stuff. A few people are like, hey, this makes me feel unfair because I don't play that kind of content. And I'm like, it actually doesn't change anything for you. Like, you still play the same way you were playing. You still can get all the gear you want. There's an opportunity for you to do some harder, more challenging things and get your gear faster. But I think you guys get to still play the same way you want. And compared to previous expansions, this time you have a real shot at getting the best gear in the game by just playing whatever part of the game you love. It just takes a little more time, which I think is a fair trade, you know, to be doing some of the less difficult stuff.
Right. I like that someone put focus in all caps. I found that entertaining.
So, and ironic because we stopped to mention it instead of...
Correct. That's my fault.
So looking forward, we have exciting stuff coming. January 24th, we've talked a bit about it. Game Update 5.1. So we have 5 brand new uprisings coming. We're going to dive into some detail on that when we come back in January. We're going to give you guys some sneak peeks, little teaser action, maybe a trailer. Hello, marketing team, that would be great. But really excited to put them out there. We think we learn a lot from the first 5 uprisings. So the guys have made a bunch of awesome improvements, and I think these feel
there's some really cool setups for these. So I can't wait till I'll see them next month. It's going to be really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to add master mode, so the hardest difficulty for all of our chapter content. So 25 chapters in total will all have a brand new challenge. I hope you guys are working on your companion influence because you're going to need it.
Let me just put this out there. I did some playtesting of master mode chapter 1 of Eternal Throne twice, in 2 separate instances this week, and Jesus, is it difficult. Like, I gave myself the best gear in the game and a rank 50 companion, and it was pretty rough.
Yeah, but are you clicking? Or?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm playing on a character, I'm like, only Merc, so I know what I'm doing. I got defensive cooldowns, I got ranged, used last set. I gave myself every heroic moment ability. Like, I was doing some serious crazy, and I'll just say the shrine with Theron Shan in chapter 1,
a little rough?
Man,
rough?
I'm still not through it, is the answer. It took me about 3 hours to get to the checkpoint halfway through it.
People are asking, will Command XP be legacy-wide? We talked about this already, but in case you missed it, no, we're going to be doing the tokens drop from Command crates legacy-wide. So earning Command experience on a character will benefit your other characters through the tokens, which you need to get some of the best gear, but Command experience will still be character-specific for now.
Yeah, just a few notes. Yes, I'm aware I suck. No, I didn't click. And yes, I gave myself class buffs. I'll cover those. I want to cover those. I really should have just played them on stream. I should have just been like, just whip up the stream real quick and show you myself get murdered. It'll be pretty good.
Will Ben talk about KOTOR 2 iconic Jedi robes on the meeting like he said he will? I trust that that's true, but I don't know. What's the question? Oh, like, this comes up sometimes, like, do we have the iconic Jedi robes available in the game from...
I mean, we have some awfully, like, there's the Exiled Master robes, which I actually based my own Jedi costume off of, that I wore to the cantina.
No big deal?
No big deal. Which a lot of people were like, hey, why is Charles wearing iconic Jedi robes when they're not in the game? They are literally the robes from the game, guys. Exiled Master, look them up, check them out. They're pretty damn close. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's a different time period, different things happen. You know, we work with Lucasfilm
be some adjustments.
story team to work out exactly what outfits are appropriate for our game. So we put in what we can.
Yep. Okay, so the 5 new uprisings coming in January, Master Mode for all 25 chapters coming in January,
Murder.
and all those Galactic Command gearing changes we just talked about. For operations, PvP, the tokens, the whole shebang will be there January 24th, so get excited for that update, which I think we're very proud of that, right? Like we only just shipped the expansion, what feels like yesterday, but a couple weeks ago, you know, and already in January we're able to bring some new content. And that's kind of our goal, right, is to continuously bring you guys, you know, as much repeatable multiplayer type content as we can to support Knights of the Eternal Throne. And when we come back in January in our producer live stream, we'll be talking about our plans for February and March and potentially April, where we have some stuff to talk about when it pertains to group content.
Yep. So all the questions of ops in all caps that we received, Warzones in all caps that we received, that type of stuff. Again, I mean, we've said this like 2 or 3 months ago. January live stream is when we're kind of really talk about what group content is early next year.
Right.
So January producer live stream.
Right.
As a note for anyone that's putting the piece together, this is going to be the last live stream that we do in December.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we'll come back.
So we won't see you until next month.
Yeah, and we still aren't sure if it'll be the first Thursday of January or the second Thursday of January, but it'll be one of those in the beginning of the month. We'll do the first live stream as well.
And I just answered that question from the same person, and I still dislike your all caps. All right. What other question? Because I think,
Is that the last slide?
That's the last slide, yeah.
It is.
Well, why don't we
I
see
saw
the
a few
other
questions
Yeah.
just about, hey, this particular thing still feels like it doesn't have enough CXP compared to that thing. I've seen a few different ones. So, yes, we're going to continue looking into that, continue mentioning it, bring it up, point it out. We're constantly analyzing the rates that people are gaining command levels, which content they're doing to gain those levels, what seems to be the fastest, what seems to be the slowest, comparing it against our expectations. We've definitely seen some gaps already just from our end. We've definitely noticed some from what y'all have pointed out to us. So continue to do that, and you know, we're going to be looking at balancing all those kinds of things as we move forward. I don't have anything specific to call out right now, but you can probably expect some changes in January because we're just going to keep tweaking stuff as we move forward.
Yep.
It's the benefits of a live game. We can do that kind of thing.
So another question, which was, will the unassembled gear pieces be tied to a discipline? And I think the answer is no. When you cash it in, you just pick
Correct.
which discipline.
Right now the
gear
plan
you
is
want.
the plan is that you just go find the piece for your discipline.
It will be attached to a body part. So it will be unassembled head piece.
Right.
So you just go, I want the head for this spec.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read the first half of this question, but the second part, Ben, do you voice any characters in SWTOR, if not underutilized?
I read the first part of that question, and I know...
I've been selling Charles on this for a long time, and he is very polite in his way of shutting me down.
Yeah. Well, as Charles says
Thank
y'all
you,
on the
that's
bingo
nice.
card, it probably should be. I say it a lot. Y'all.
what are y'all doing?
Only person from Texas here.
Yes, it's true. Texas native. I'm wearing...
Do they say y'all in Australia?
I'm wearing my
No.
boots. See?
In fact, my wife is from Texas, and when she was in Australia, we made fun of her so much that she stopped saying y'all. Then I moved here, and now I'm unable to say it because it would be a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I still say it anyway, just not when she's around to make fun of me.
I don't say it because I'm from the north, and so in the north we have the same feeling towards y'all.
You say use guys?
Some
These
version
guys?
of that. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep. Some version of that.
Hazel just texted me and said, I think you're going crazy.
Yes,
Thanks.
that is likely.
Appreciate that.
I saw
That's
the
only
question,
because she couldn't come in the door and throw more things at us.
Yeah.
when is the Stream Dream Team seeing Rogue One?
Ooh. Stream Dream Team is going to see Rogue One tomorrow.
Right.
We're gonna
Except
see
I'm
it
cheating
together.
on everyone and going straight from this stream to put on my 501st kit and
This is where I
troop with
immediately
viewing
want to-
at
Charles
night.
is casually too fancy for us, in
I-
that he's part of an exclusive group of Star Wars fans. Like, why not?
I also
It's cool.
immediately want
Anybody
to
can join.
I also immediately want to go
yeah.
like this because I'm like, someone's gonna put a Rogue One spoiler
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
chat.
We gotta end it right now.
God, yeah,
oh no,
can't read,
what have I
sorry.
done?
Turn the stream off. Anyway, a question I saw earlier: can you make the gear tokens legacy bound to help with gearing alts?
The
Not
unassembled
at first.
pieces or the tokens?
Right. So I would say explain just quickly again how that works, so understand that it is
Yeah.
built for gearing alts.
Yeah, the command tokens, which come from your command crates, are legacy. So those are shared across all of your characters. Like Ben mentioned, when you actually log in, you'll need to log in with each of your characters to get them all. Housekeeping for later. Command tokens are legacy bound. Unassembled gear pieces and unassembled components, those are per character as we have it conceived right now.
Right, because we want you to have to do the work to defeat the operation on the character.
Right.
But then you can convert it to a piece of gear faster if you've played a lot on on other characters.
Didn't you call into sick work today, Charles? And didn't you call into work sick? I can't speak.
I did not call in sick today. That was yesterday and the day before.
Yeah.
It was a very nasty. It was a very nasty thing. Let's just say it's not a
sick.
It's not a coincidence that the rat ghoul plague was running on those same days because it was gross.
So we're at 45 minutes.
I think we should make this a 24-hour stream.
Yeah, done. I got water. I'm gonna drink my water for the first time.
I don't want Charles to go and see Rogue One without me. I'm really upset about it.
I did. What was my stream? 13 hours? Is that no? Had to be longer than that. Maybe it was like
long,
13
though.
hours.
I don't know.
That was painful. I've done a 24-hour stream before. That was also painful.
Were you going to do another one?
I've seen that question.
Maybe when we come back, I'll do a Kotet one. Or I'll just play one chapter of Master Mode for like 12 hours and try to beat it. All the same, really. All the same. Really.
Any reason you don't make Legacy Command Rank? Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. I would just, to prevent saying it all again, just rewind the stream a little, and we kind of go through that. But the tokens are legacy-wide. That's kind of the goal. Will the 5-year anniversary items unlocking collections? I don't know that answer.
Right now they don't, but right now they're also 1 credit. Right? Am I making that up?
I actually don't know.
I'll look.
I don't know what we did.
Oh,
last
one thing I
section,
did see,
sorry.
and I think I've already passed it on to these guys, but I will confirm with other people who aren't sitting right next to me because these guys probably won't know, is that the Celebration Jawa only works for one of the Jawa achievements. It doesn't work for both. I believe I've already passed that on, but I'll verify.
Yeah.
Actually, I know some of those people are listening to me, so if I haven't already passed that on...
I don't think you can like do official work communication through the live stream. Like I don't think that's how this works.
Ben, I agree to disagree.
Oh my god, we didn't give anything away this stream.
No, we didn't give anything away this stream.
What?
We didn't.
All right, let's think of something. What do you want to give away?
Well, we could do that.
Oh, is Tate there? Or is someone there?
Keith might be, but we could just do this the old-fashioned way. People have to type stuff, and we just grab one. We just look and grab one.
What can we? God, will Dan be upset if we give away a couple Wampas?
Oh.
Is that a thing?
Can we give away Wampas? Let's give away a Wampa.
Make the call.
We're
doing it.
So, in honor of our 5th-year anniversary,
yes,
we're going to give away 5 Wampas. I don't know how we're going to manage this, but let's just say, what's going to be the word today?
Stream Dream Team.
Stream Dream Team.
Maybe Rogue One. Is that a thing?
Let's do Rogue One. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Type Rogue One in chat, and then this is how we're going to do it, Ben, because we don't have someone back there doing the little raffle system. You guys watch chat, and I want you to call out the name of 5 winners. Now I'm gonna put a little onus on you guys. When Ben calls out the name...
Oh, there's someone's watching. 5 Wampas.
Oh, well,
okay.
he might be able to grab it. Still,
SWTOR
we're going to do it this way. Keith can just be a backup, or Nick, whichever one of those 2 people it is. This is how we do it. When one of you call out a name, you person whose name gets called out, send the official SWTOR Twitch account a message that you were one of the winners.
Got it. Dark Splat.
Dark Splat. Send us a message.
I can't even read them. They're going by so fast. Chopsky.
Ambrode.
Ambrode.
I think it's your turn.
Anubis 789.
Oh, and the
Anubis 789. Oh man, I forgot it. Sorry, you just lost whoever you were. I mean, no, it's fine. It's fine.
You didn't say it out loud, so they don't know. They'll never know.
Slayer Rogue or Slayer's Rogue. That was super fast. Slayer's Rogue.
There you go. Those are the 5
free
winners.
Wampas.
All right, you can
And
stop
I'm gonna-
typing.
Congratulations.
I'm going to remember none of those, but I will go back and get it from the VOD. But anyway, if you were one of those 5 people, please send the official SWTOR Twitch account a message. Hey, Brosif, this knife is bigger. I won the contest.
And if you guys want to do a That's Not a Knife YouTube contest, that's also cool.
Yeah.
We're certainly not going to stop you.
No. We may encourage it.
All right, well, from the Stream Dream team and all of us here at BioWare Austin, thank you guys for being loyal fans. It's exciting to round out this year with an expansion, with some cool updates, with a lot of stuff coming in January. We hope you guys enjoy the holiday season, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I think
it's another Simpsons